Listen, we back with another episode. You know what I'm saying? I got the Ti swag going on with the redemption hat, the black and gold. Tessa talking about copy her. It doesn't matter. We both could wear
He
the black
did.
hat. I got the Genesic sweatshirt on. Joel got. Is that the redemption hoodie? Let me see.
Now I'm
Sit back
wearing a
over, brother. What's
redemption
like?
varsity right now, man. Got the
Okay. Oh yeah, that's the varsity jacket. All right. You know what I'm saying, man? Wow, there's a Taliban 9 in my right, 45 in my other hand. Right. Oh man, we're back. But we back. Back to business. Breakfast with Bros. The ladies are back. Do we need to remind y'all who they are? Yes, I say why not.
why not?
Felicia, Tessa, welcome back again.
Thank you guys for
Uh,
having us
Of
again.
Thank you.
course. This is their third episode with us, and this is actually a back-to-back one because when you guys see this, you'll actually see a previous episode that we just did with them, and
Mhm.
we're actually gonna discuss some things that were left off that last episode. But like always, I think I said already, but I'm gonna say it again: like, comment, share, subscribe, send it to a friend. Comments. Our goal, our immediate goal, is to get to 200 subscribers. We're right there, and with consistency, we'll be there in no time, and we're doing that. Actually, before you know what, all right, let me not go into that yet. I got a bone to pick with Tesla, like always, and
Here we
this is
go.
nah, this is
Here we go.
this is a this is a serious bone to pick. But before we do that, this episode is brought to you, like always, by Genesics and Redemption Brand. Make sure you go shop there, theredemptionbrand.com. All right. Now, as we left off last episode, which I'll clip it somewhere here, we are talking about husbands, good men in the house that's taking care of everything. And we all were in agreement that if you have that type of man in the household, yes, he should be getting the plate first, right? But there's many other things. I think it's just the plate of food is a thing that's synonymous with everyone since we all got to eat, and it was versus the kids in the household. And so my question that I posed to the panel was, what happens when that type of man is in the household and he's not getting that treatment, i.e., is not forget getting the plate first, forget getting the plate at all. He's not getting food cooked. Let's start from there. He's not getting food cooked. Uh, he's not getting greeted. Who want to go first? Because this probably about to be a fight.
Tessa want to go first.
Go
Well,
ahead,
I
bro.
don't want to listen. I don't have a man, so I can go last.
Oh my
But
goodness.
I don't have a man either. So
You want to go first? I think, listen, this is one of those, like, let's just say, right? You have a man who provides, protects, okay? You have what you need and want before you even think about it, things like that. And you're telling me that, something, I feel like just something as simple as cooking. And listen, we're both working, right? We're both working. We're both taking care of the children. We're both tired. Okay. You're telling me out of 7 days in the week, you can't cook 2, 3. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like so for me, it's either one, that's just something that's just not in you. Like you don't care to do it, right? You don't care to do it. You just don't know. You don't care to learn to do it. You don't know how. You don't know where to start, right? You want to, but you don't know how. So I feel like there are just so many different. I have a lot more questions with each of these like scenarios as to how is it that you have a man that so many women are just they can't find a man like that. You have this man, okay? You can call him yours, and you treat him like nothing.
So one thing I want to dive into, right? Because we always, no matter what, when we talk about these, when we have these general conversations, right? Because that's what they are, with opinions, very little facts with these type of things. Because there's so many people, and being that so many people is variables, right? And we can't account for all the variables like some sort of math equation. And when you say provide and protect, to play devil's advocate, unfortunately, some people have a very different understanding of what provide and protect is. So when they're receiving things that you or Tessa may deem as beyond reasonable as far as being the provider and protector, some women may see that as not being enough. And then I guess that's where we get into communication.
I understand what you're saying, but provide and protect was just the what we always hear, right? We like the basic, like a man is supposed to provide and protect. So this is just the basic. Even a man is giving you everything that you want, everything that you need. All right, forget provide and protect. He's there for you emotionally. He supports you in every way possible. You know what I'm saying? And he's still not, he's still not received as someone of value. I think cooking, for me, what I've experienced, for the house to function, cooking and cleaning are two very, very vital things.
Because let's be honest, right? Forget sex. I'm just going to be real. Forget sex, right? Because the reason why I say that, because you go get sex from anybody, Joel. I'm not saying forget sex as like, let's not have sex, because sex was made to be great, right?
We're gonna have to have a session, a one-on-one session. Like, what's going on?
What I'm saying is, any woman off the street can come and give that man sex. Agree or disagree?
Yes.
Right? And when I think about cooking, I think about the gesture and the genuineness and the warm feeling that you get, or that could be put into that meal, that would allow that man to feel like, wow, this is amazing. Even if it's a basic meal, knowing that someone he loves and someone that loves him made that meal, add something to it. You could get food from any woman as well as you could get sex, but you can't get a home cooked meal from any woman, because that home is where the heart is. You understand what I'm saying? Go ahead, Joel.
Is home where the heart is?
Yeah, you answer it, brother.
I'm asking you, is home where the heart is?
Look, man, that's what they say. Word on the streets is that's what it is.
Yeah, but the streets ain't in the house. So is home where the heart is? Because two people can be in a home, but does their heart reside in it? Because I'm listening to what Felicia was saying earlier. To me, in my opinion, it is just my opinion, it's quite simple. If a woman is blessed enough to have a man that's doing all the stuff that she just mentioned, but she's taking it for granted. To me, this is a woman that does not have a profound love for her partner.
Oh, now you on the pod, brother. Okay, now we're doing the podcast. Okay, go ahead, keep talking. Go ahead.
To me, that's what it sounds like to me, because like he's doing all of this, and she mentioned you have the type of man that a lot of women are looking for.
But what if he's missing something, bro? There's something that he's not doing that she needs. And then again, I go back to communication. Hold on. Before you give your points.
Here's another thing.
Hold on.
I'm gonna forget.
Hold on. No, don't forget. Before you give your points, write it down, because before you give your points, we got to go back to it, right?
Okay.
Provide and protect. We say that's the bare minimum that a man has to give. That's what we just deem on, right? By society. It's like stamped, right?
Yo, that's the bare minimum. Do you know how much work that is?
I'm telling you.
Minimum? Why is that?
I got to get close to the mic, because I'm telling you, this was society said, not Gene. Society.
I know, but why is society deemed that as the bare minimum? If all a man does is provide and protect.
So how about this? A challenge to you.
That's a big deal.
Post that on your post that on your social media, and then wait for the comments.
No, I'm not popular. You got to do that, man. They ain't going to answer me. They ain't going to answer me.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying these things. I'm not saying these things because I'm in disagreement or I want to disagree with you. But this is what the other side potentially is thinking. Okay, so what? You're paying my bills. I can do that. I don't need you to protect me. I can take care of myself.
Well, that's the new age we're living in. Okay, so since provide and protect is the bare minimum for the man, what's the bare minimum for the woman?
They think it's just open it. Never mind. Go ahead. Somebody else answer that. I ain't never mind. Go ahead. Never mind. Never mind.
I said provide and protect because
No. We agree.
That's
with
fine.
that.
We're not.
I'm saying
That's a great basis. We're not saying you're wrong.
I'm not to give the woman basis because
Go ahead.
this is what society says.
Mhm.
Okay, before anyone, man, provide and protect, woman, cook, clean, take care of the children, right? That's basically what society says. Is it not? Am I wrong?
What society you living in?
Oh, I feel like every time I hear a man say, not a man, but when people, the conversation of the role of a woman and the role of a man, he should provide, protect, and she should be taking care of the household.
Mhm.
But I feel like to provide and protect, I understand it, right? But a woman also has to provide and protect, no? Whether it's a financial provision or
There we go. And that's a part of the issue. Because when you intertwine those two things, one may see it as, if I'm doing the same thing as you, why do I have to do that other thing?
because one person can't, in my opinion, one
No, go-
person
no, go
can't
ahead,
do
go ahead.
it.
You understand what I'm saying, right?
No, I understand what you're saying. I don't disagree with anything.
And it's funny, I didn't know we were gonna go down this route. And Tessa, I want you jumping at any time, whether you got a warm body or not. Your opinion is valued. Um, was talking about, like, I was talking to a young lady that's gonna be moving, right? And I was like, listen, like, your husband is gonna lead you down the right path. He's gonna lead you. And I said, here's the thing. I said, if your husband has this and he's doing all of this, he's managing that, you don't necessarily need to go and say, oh, I need to do that too. You potentially might need to look at where is a household lacking and be great there. And vice versa. If my wife is doing this and she's great in that, I need to look at, okay, where in the foundation can I fill and make sure we stand on that strong foundation, right? And then my role is a supporting role in whatever she's great in. Because by me supporting, then we're both partaking, correct? So if your man is protecting and providing, you necessarily might not need to do that per se. Make sense?
No, it definitely
Or
makes sense.
did I lose y'all? I know
No.
some people going to disagree, and that's fine, right? That's why I have a podcast to get opinions and get suggestions, and people disagree, right? And again, if I'm providing protecting, I'm not saying my wife never needs to do that. But if I am excellent in that, let me grow and stay in that, and you add where I might be weak. And to me, that's one form of cohesiveness.
Yeah, I agree. But I agree because some people might take that and apply it everywhere. Even though it's a no-brainer, I'm gonna just say it anyways. Even though you're great at this, right? Okay, so she's great at that, so you're gonna find something else. Don't get it twisted. And I feel like so many times.
No. Hold on. Remember, I said find what I need to support around that. Yes, something else, but also where she's great and I have to support that.
Okay, let me finish.
Okay.
I understood what you said. I'm sorry I reworded it wrong, but I understood what you said. I was trying to say that a lot of times people, they feel that my wife is a great cook. She loves to cook. She does it 24/7. She could do it with her eyes closed. So because she cooks every day, I'm going to just not cook.
Mhm.
I'm gonna I'm gonna wash the dishes, which is great. You know what I'm saying? That is great. That's amazing. But the days when she can't, you need to be able to step in and fill in
the gap. Yeah.
Right. And I think and I've learned this, it's really I don't even. It's such a disadvantage for both of us when you're so. Oh man, the Haitian culture. I love the Haitian culture. It's such a disadvantage when the wife is the one who wakes up every morning, cooks your breakfast and your lunch, sends you to work. Takes care of the children. And I'm saying this from what I grew up seeing. Okay. So
Mhm.
for me to make a point, this is what I grew up seeing. And I also, in the age that I am now, those people that I grew up seeing, now the wife is no longer here, right? And the husband doesn't know what to do because he was so used to the wife filling this role in the home and he was filling the role bringing in the money, paying the bills and stuff like that, and vice versa. She always cooked. He passes away or he's not able to work. She doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know the first thing about paying a bill, which is what I'm saying. It's cool to this is what she excels at, so I'm gonna let her do that. That doesn't always work. For example, for example, I'm not great at planning trips, right? I'm not great at it at all. My husband, I think he's a lot more better at it. He's definitely a lot more better at it than I. But we've communicated to each other, and it comes out that he wishes that he didn't have to always fill that role. That I would just be able to like plan a trip. You know what I'm saying? Which I understand. When someone in the relationship is always doing, whether they excel at it or not, they would like to switch roles as well. So I just wanted to say that it might be a no-brainer, but I just have to say it just for
No,
anybody.
most definitely, no disagreement from me on there. That's when you definitely fill in that gap because you're right. For instance, cooking. It's like if my wife is a great cook, no, she like to eat too, so she
Right.
should be able to get that meal as well too. What's your thoughts, Tessa?
My thoughts are I can honestly tell you. So obviously, as I've said countless times on this podcast, I am single, but I do have a
What's
lot of friends.
Your Instagram? Plug your Instagram. Plug your
Yeah.
Instagram.
Uh, where
Yeah.
do I put it at?
Hold on, plug it. Nah, plug it. What is it? Say
Just
it.
tell
Um,
them. We'll put it right there.
it's One Heart of Gold. Where do I put it at?
You
One
just did.
heart of gold. Is it underscore or no?
Yeah, One Heart underscore of
Yeah.
underscore gold.
All right. What's
One
your
Heart
Tinder?
Gold.
Tell us your Tinder.
So I I don't have Tinder.
The
Right
blood of
there, y'all.
Jesus.
There you go.
Blood of
One heart
Jesus.
of
Yes,
gold.
that's my
No,
Instagram.
go follow her. Go
Okay.
follow her right now.
So what I'm saying is this. I know a lot of married men who do not get, the basic needs. I'm
Basic.
talking about,
Basic.
you made food for the kids, but now you're telling him, okay, figure it out. You know? It's not like you just didn't cook, you cooked. You just didn't make enough for him, you know? Sex, like you probably haven't had none in a while,
No
but
segs.
at the end,
No segs. Wow, that's crazy.
you heard me. There's no feedback. You heard me.
There's no.
So at the end of the day, it's like if you're not meeting this man's basic needs, how dare you think that he's not going to get it elsewhere? Or
Mm.
how
Hello.
could you expect him not to want to get it elsewhere? As for me, and when I see stuff like this, when I hear things like this, I'm like, Lord, allow me to, like, when I become a wife, I want to be able to serve. You understand what I'm saying? And serve to the point where I desire to do it and I don't get tired of doing it. Because at the end of the day, if you do not want to serve him, somebody else will.
Hello.
So it's like,
You preaching the
listen.
word, man. Where's the collection
And
plate?
then another thing, it's like, okay, you're not cooking, but how dare you get mad if his work wife is making him food? Like,
Ooh, the
Hello.
work wife, not the work
Not
wife.
the
you know
work
what I'm
wife.
saying?
I gotta drink some
So
water
it's
on that.
like,
Can we
you
just all
know,
drink, please? Just take a.
Mm.
so that's just what I'm saying. Like, and I feel like on this journey, God has opened my eyes to so many things, and I've been able to talk to so many people. Eugene actually tells me, because I'll say, I'm like, marriage scares me, the thought of relationships scares me, and Eugene tells me I'm talking to too many people. You know, he always tells me I'm just doing way too much talking to people. But it's good for me to know some of these things because like my awareness is up. You know what I'm saying?
But again,
It's
right,
up.
to conversations that you and I have. And again, when we say talking to many people, we're not talking about dating. We're talking about people feeling comfortable with divulging certain information
Right.
to someone that is basically unblemished because they're at a place that you have never experienced yet, right?
Right.
And the fact that you never experienced yet, you know, when somebody keeps telling you about this restaurant, they're like, "Yo, it got the best this, the best that," and you get there and you could have got it at Applebee's,
Right.
you messed up, right? So when somebody is giving you this feedback on marriage, and look, it's hard to hear anything negative about a marriage, something that was designed so beautifully by a creator, right? So when you have 70% of the married 70% of the married people you're talking to giving you negative feedback around it, how forget getting into marriage, how can you get into a relationship with the thought of marriage even be there as a pure thought, which is supposed to be, right?
Right.
Because marriage is the basis, the foundation of family. So if you can't get past these mental hurdles because you have people giving you this information, how can you even allow yourself, your inner man, to be ready to attach with somebody else and become that one? It's just not possible.
I have something to say.
Yeah, sister, you got an open mic.
So, all right. So, if woman or man, because there are women who work, and the husband is home, and then she comes home, and the roles could be switched, whatever. So, what do you say to two people who get married, right? And this is new to them, and let's just continue on with the man working. He comes home, there's nothing cooked or whatever. I always feel that there's more is it more to the service? There's more going on. There's some kind of like
Disconnect.
there's something going on. Okay? So I always say when you are dating, right? What is it what did you see? And again, people can show you one thing when they're dating and then something totally different when you get married. All right, boom. She showed you that she loves to cook. Every time you talking to her, yo, what you doing? Yo, I'm cleaning my room. I'm cooking. All that. And you like, yo, she cook every night. She cook every day. Yeah, I get married. Hey, honey, I'm home. What up? What's to eat? I don't know. Right? Here's my thing. Would it be wrong to say that you two are new to this marriage thing and you grew up, you never saw a great marriage. You never saw what a wife should be. You never saw what a husband could be like should be.
Mhm.
You only heard about it, right? You've
Right.
never actually experienced it. So if your wife doesn't know how to serve you, right, as her husband, like what do you do? Or vice versa.
You want to go first, Joel?
What do you do? How like how do you help your wife to
Mm.
to be the wife that your marriage needs or whatever?
That's a very good question. I believe that there's only one way you can help her if she wants to be helped. If she has a desire to want to learn how to, everything starts with a conversation. Babe, I realize that there are some things that you might need that maybe I'm not fulfilling for you. Like if she's talking to you like that, that is a soil that is fertile that you can plant seed in. But if she's a person who's just defensive, period, because let's be honest, not all, but there is a big percentage of girls that were raised to be princesses and not wives.
Ooh. All right. Was
They
that? Did you
grew
just?
up.
Did you tag me in? Did you just tag me in? You threw the alley. I got to oop it.
Yes, I threw the alley.
Listen, right? And back to my man Simon. If you listen, I'm sorry, man. Simon just had, I don't know, he's like, he's in this episode too, man. I need to send him a DM and thank him for this content.
Actually, shout out to
Listen,
Simon.
one of the ladies said, and this is a harsh reality that most women unfortunately have to realize, that Disney is not real. And what happens is what's pumped into our young girls is the Disney fairy tale that everyone could be a Snow White, a Cinderella, a Belle, a Ariel, and
Right.
it's just not real. And the reason why I say it's not real is because nothing is perfect. And those are perfect animated love stories. And I remember I had to tell my wife, listen, the problem is you watched a lot of Disney and you don't realize that what I'm giving you is an idealistic reality, meaning a positive space where you can grow and everything, but it's not going to be perfect. So you have to practice that patience and allow your partner to grow to who you know that they can be, right? But that has a shelf life as well. But one of the things that you can do is practice gratitude. And sometimes it's a bad place to be in because when you practice gratitude, that means you get rid of all expectations. So
Mm.
when something is done, instead of saying I expected that, you say I'm grateful. I'm grateful that you did that. I had gratitude. You have gratitude about it because there's no expectation. So if my wife didn't cook, but I had expectations for her to cook, now I'm disappointed. Now my spirit is broken. But if I walk in the door and she cooked and she didn't cook, but she cleaned, I could be grateful and say, "Oh, babe, the house looks great. Thank you for cleaning."
Do
Right?
something.
You know, yeah, do something. I'm just speaking on the positive note because I know sometimes you get nothing can be done, and you gotta talk to Jesus about it. That's all you could do, right? But again, it's a real thing, man. See what it is. A lot of young women, to Joel's point, again, little girls that are now growing to becoming women, they've been lied to their entire lives, right? And that's back to Disney, where you think you could go and have your clothes changed and get a pumpkin turns into a carriage and you meet a prince. Meanwhile, as soon as I came out the womb, the world let me know that life was real. So I've been living in reality a lot longer than
Yeah.
perhaps my counterpart could have been
Yeah.
because she's
Yeah.
a princess. She's
Yeah.
daddy's little girl. She's a
Yeah.
female. You can't do that to her. You can't do this. You can't say that because it sounds mean. Meanwhile, I'm a boy, I'm a man. He could take it, rough him up, tell him the truth. Doesn't matter. You don't have to be gentle with that, but it's more of a dose of reality. And when you have those two people that come join, and there's one person that doesn't have an example of what that the vision of good for marriage should be, that could be potentially what you're fighting against.
You see, it's going with what you just said. A lot of people really was groomed from birth as, dreaming about and expecting to find your prince charming. So this is why somebody would fall for somebody like Simon, right? Because he's a professional charmer, right? They tell you, yeah, prepare for this, prepare for that. And at the end of the day, even if you did get your Prince Charming way, you didn't have to do certain things. And going back to what Felicia said earlier, yo, what happens when life happens and either sickness came in or that person's not able to do those things that you've come to be so comfortable with receiving? Like, he was taking care of you for, listen, I used to work in the medical field, and I met an individual that they were together for over 20 something years, and spoke very highly of the life that they had. But this man now ended up with stage 4 cancer, and the person that he was with all these years broke down to the point where, I didn't sign up for this. Like, this is not what I'm used to. And she left this man. She left this man, and this man literally died 7 weeks later. And majority of us at the job said, he didn't die from the cancer. He died from a broken heart, because we only saw her the very first doctor's appointment. And the very next time we saw him, he was like, yo, she took the money and left. Like, she just said, I'm sorry, but I couldn't handle this. So when we do sit there and we take these vows and talk about for better or for worse, some of us got to have these conversation. Hey, just for my knowledge, what does for worse means to you? What does for
Yeah.
worse look like?
What does that
Just
look
like when
like?
somebody tells you, this is my love language, I love quality time. Okay, and I tell all the couples that I talk to, that's either gonna get engaged or get married. Cool. A lot of things are broad. You have to break it down. Ask the person you with, what does quality time look like to you? Because I might have taken you food shopping and considered that quality time.
Mm.
But your
Mhm.
quality time is me sitting on the couch with you, you understand, hugging up with you and watching something that you want. That's quality time for you. Or quality time might be only when we go out to eat and enjoy. So we can say these things, quality times and acts of service, but we need to know, what does it look like to you? Because many of us, we've learned to like people in our language, but not really in their language. So you might be
And
offering something to somebody that's not what they need. And majority of the time when I do counseling, and it always works, is I've never seen it to where it equaled. Whatever is number one on the women's list is going to be number 5 on the men's list, and whatever is number 5 on the men's list is going to be in the number 1 on the women's list. It's always like that.
and
So when
yep.
it comes to relationship, I have to understand, I'm not talking to me, I'm not doing this for me, but I have to speak in the language that she understands, that she comprehends, you know? So
And
it's
brother, with that being said, brother, you brought it back full circle to what me and Felicia were discussing early on in this particular segment, to where to us, provide and protect looks like very simplistic things that could only mean these particular things. But again, it could be number 1 versus number 5, to where because I'm providing this, that may not be what you need me to provide. We're gonna do a little segue. We're gonna go all the way left to something that's in the realm of marriage, but it ain't the vision of good. And Tessa, if you would, I'd like for you to read this and take this over.
Oh my gosh.
Yo,
I mean,
where you be finding
Right.
these things?
It's like, all right, so I got cheated on my husband of 10 years. He slept with 2 of my sisters and a cousin. I was so upset that I called him out
On the streets.
on his sugar honey iced tea on Facebook. Fast forward 5 years, we're happily married, and I now have 2 niece daughters. We're over the past, but I regret blasting him publicly.
let me
Now,
put that.
let me
Let me
tell you
put that right
something.
there so they can see.
Look at this comment. What in the sweet home Alabama is this?
So
And
if
by the
you
way,
go
like,
in the comments, you see
hold
a lot of people bashing her, saying that
yeah.
she should have kept it all to herself, right? But I
Before we
feel
go
like
there, shout the page out. We gotta shout out Spiritual Word always. I
a
don't want people
spiritual
coming
word,
after
that
us.
is the
Yeah.
platform that this post was
Nah, some things you gotta
taken
take
from,
with you to death, bro.
to
Like
the grave, right?
this.
So like, and this is so crazy. So this kind of brings us back to last episode with the Kiara Shear, okay, where she hides she hides her friends at a hotel so they're not near her husband. So I feel like in cases like this, where you have a husband who's very active, in a case like this is where you would hide
Active.
your family and hide your friends from him, keep them up at a hotel or whatever the case is. But 2 niece daughters is out of line.
Super out of line. Nobody else got anything else to say?
Bro,
No.
what can you say? What all right. What's next?
Now, look, it reminds me. Hold on, it reminds me of something. I want to show y'all something.
Oh my god.
Y'all know I got something for everything.
Oh my god.
Hold on, it reminds me of
Where
this
you
really
find
quick.
these things?
It reminds me of this, man.
Spiritual world.
This is what it
Spiritual
reminds
world.
me of.
I had my own grandpa.
You're your own grandpa?
That's right.
Well, for those of us who've never heard of such a thing, maybe you could explain.
Of course, it's quite simple, really. Many years ago when I was 23, I was married.
Have y'all ever seen that movie?
No.
Y'all never seen The Stupids?
No.
Hold on, and I gotta cut in and talk about it because I don't want people coming after us for for fair use. This is whose page is on? This is on Lyle's VT, so I'll probably have to post a link there so that way they get their due justice. But listen to this.
To a widow who was pretty as could be. This widow had a grown-up daughter who had hair of red. My father fell fell in love with her, and soon they two were wed. This made my dad my son-in-law and changed my very life. For my daughter was my mother, 'cause she was my father's wife. To complicate the matter, even though it brought me joy, I soon became the father of a bouncing baby boy. My little baby then became a
All right, we got
dad.
we gotta stop it. We gotta stop it.
Yo, I was trying to follow, but I got lost.
Yo, he says,
Oh.
yeah, it's a whole story. If guys, I'll post it so that way you can see it. It's from this movie called The Stupids with Tom Arnold. I'm my own grandpa, you know, it's on that. Yeah, it's on that stuff. It's on that stuff. But
Yo.
before we go, we got a couple more things to talk about. But again, man, you guys saw earlier we did a little drop with Redemption Brand, and of course, brought to you by Genetics as well, guys.
Yeah, we gotta go to.
Look
So fitness to me is really just about inspiring others to be as great as they possibly can. We were designed for greatness, and I believe in Kobe Bryant's quote, first and foremost. He said the most important thing to do is try and inspire people to be great at whatever they want to do. So for me, that means that we have to be great first. So we all got to start somewhere.
All right, guys, we back again. Thank you for still being with us. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Now I did say earlier I had a bone to pick with Tessa. I don't know if I'm gonna pick it with her right now. I might play nice tonight.
Do it.
All right, so Tessa is an avid supporter of ours, and we appreciate her. And she's always honest in her feedback, which we greatly appreciate.
Oh my God, don't do this.
I hope not.
And there was an episode. That we did where we just had return, Joel, because we had a hiatus.
Let's talk about it. Yes.
And
Yo,
we gave context without much detail. So whatever you guys thought was detail was nowhere near exactly what was going on and what is going on. So I can understand why Tessa may have had issue with the way we presented that information. But to be honest, I didn't like that she didn't like us telling our story.
Okay.
But again, like I said, right, we're human. We all need feedback. And if somebody say you kind of, you could have did a little different, then maybe you need to think about it. And that's where I'm kind of at with it. So I'm not mad, but I couldn't let that ride. I was a little salty, like, girl, you don't even know.
Okay, so you're calling me out.
I mean, you ain't gonna say anything.
Are you apologizing for being
We can move on. You don't have to say anything. Okay.
I'm gonna tell you this, right? I stand on what I said 100%.
As you should.
Okay. But what I will say is this, right? Because there was a lot that I said to you, especially concerning your hiatus, and I felt as though life gets busy and consistency, like, it's needed or whatever the case is. So I had mentioned, structuring things a little differently so that folks are not waiting for content, etc. But even with that particular episode, it felt like there was some trouble in paradise, and I felt as though it could have been delivered a little differently. And let me tell you, so a couple weeks ago, I was at work and I was watching a documentary, and the documentary was on Faith Evans and Biggie's marriage, right? So, and they start to get into all the nitty gritty of their marriage and, how they got together, how they broke up, behind the scenes, things that we didn't even know, blah, blah, blah. So, all these years later, to hear the behind the scenes, it was pretty like, wow, I didn't know that happened. You know what I'm saying? And I felt as though, when certain things happen in our lives, we don't always have to, cast it right away, we can always find a way to make it come full circle. So that's just my whole thing with it.
No, and even when we spoke that day, as you could tell, I said thank you, which I'm sure you know I was annoyed.
I'm like, oh, he is salty, but you know
Yeah,
what? It
I
is
was annoyed.
okay.
I was
It's
annoyed,
okay. I
but
know you
I
well
took
enough
it.
to know. I'm like, yeah, he's salty, but okay.
Yeah, but I took it, and I agree, man. And like we're all human, and when feelings are involved beyond surface level things, it's difficult to deal
Right.
with when you actually care. And forget about this platform. I just mean like people. You know, when you actually care, it cuts deeper than you realize sometimes, and you're left with questions, and sometimes you're left with questions that you don't even want
Unanswered.
to ask. You don't even want to ask
Hmm.
sometimes, right? And you know that's fault on both sides, but that's where it's at. And as we both said in that episode, it just needed to be expressed, and that was the best way I could do it in that moment with the time that I took without
Hmm.
saying anything.
Right.
And whenever anyone is ready, we're gonna do what we're gonna do, and hopefully we.
So another thing
Mhm.
is a
Oh, you
lot of
just gonna
times
pour it
when
on. You
we
feeling
get
good tonight? You just gonna pour it on. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm
Well,
gonna
no,
you
receive.
no,
came
but
for her.
no, because
Go ahead.
honestly, like when we
You
get in
go
our
ahead and do it.
feelings, listen, I mean, you call me out, so let's
Mhm.
go.
You did. You
Um,
did.
it's like when we get in our feelings, right? And we express ourselves
Oh, look, somebody got
without,
an issue with that. Oh, here we go.
yeah, when we get in our
Okay.
feelings and we express ourselves
Wow.
without
Now men's gonna
actually
press feelings. Wow.
without actually touching bases with our friends or our business partners or whoever we have the issue with,
Mhm.
if we discuss it with someone else before discussing it with them, that can potentially destroy whatever relationship you have. You know what
Is
I'm saying?
so
And a
that's
lot,
hold on. Make it clear that that's a general statement. That's not specific
yeah,
to
yeah,
my
yeah,
my
it's general,
situation.
please.
Yeah.
Please, I'm just saying. So if we have some kind of issue or miscommunication and we don't solve it, but yet I talk about it or make some kind of point of it somewhere
Right.
else,
Because it's not
that could
solved.
offend people. And it can,
When a situation is not solved, right, right.
right,
Forget about
right,
talking about it was like because
right,
it's not solved, let's just not talk about it outside of us because we haven't
us.
solved anything.
Yeah,
So
because we don't know
there's
really what's
still a
going on.
misunderstanding going on. Right, right.
Right. Because,
So why do you think things like that happen though? I mean, obviously, there's like 1,000 answers, right? Of
yeah,
potentially why that could happen, right? But you just said something key. We don't know what's going on. So when
right.
you can't pinpoint a specific thing or a couple of actions or times that could have got you there, doesn't that, yeah, that leaves you like lost in the sauce.
You're
It
lost in the
does, but
sauce.
sometimes you
So
got to give people space. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to give them space to come around.
Yeah, when your space though is costing me money and it's affecting my livelihood, then what do we do?
you
And what do we, this
okay,
is a
so
learning lesson.
this is what you do. Okay. If there's a situation like that, again, I would approach where I would approach the situation directly. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Okay.
would go to the person or the whatever, and this is what I would say, and whatever is said here is just left right there. If it's still an unsolved issue, then that's what it is. But like she was saying, if we continue to speak about what's going on between us outside of us, that's where things get really sticky, right? If the person's being unprofessional, now you yourself, you are just as unprofessional as they are. There was a person, I can't remember his name on social media. He's a really famous cook, right? And someone did him dirty. A client did him dirty, and he reposted it on social media. He screenshot what the client did, and then his followers was like, "This is very tasteless of you to do." For me, I was with him. I'm like, "Yo, you came for me. You tried to take my business down, and this person dead did that." She thanked him. She posted her with him and his food.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Right,
I know
right,
who you're talking about.
I'm not
right.
That
familiar
was
with
like
that
at
one.
least 2 weeks ago.
Yes, and
Oh,
he was and she gave him such a horrific review. Said he didn't deliver, but like when you look back in her history, she was posting pictures. The food was lovely. Thank you so much. Thanking him, tag her church in it, all this stuff. And it's like,
And
you
she
know,
tried to get her money back from her
right.
bank.
And it's
Yeah.
like, for me, I'm like, as a business owner, yeah, you should be doing that. But his followers was just like, you know what? That's what a client did. It's very tasteless and classless, whatever,
What's that?
to have posted an issue that he was having with a client. And I get it. I get it. I understand it.
Yeah, I think listen, I don't have a disagreement really about anything. It's just I expressed it the way
Right.
I expressed it.
Right.
And that's it. To be honest, I don't really have a feeling about it. Obviously, yeah, you can always do things differently. As you say, you learn and grow, and sometimes, like to a point, like you said, when you don't discuss things, it becomes something else, and it gets weird. So for me, being in that space, trying to get these things done, that was the best way for me, at least in my eyes at that time, right, to let out whatever I was feeling without being disrespectful, even if it did offend. Even if it did offend, I'm okay with that, to be honest, because I don't believe I said or did anything beneath the belt or different from, or did anything more than what my original actions were to find or pinpoint a moment or situations to where I could have been a better person. And I still want to know how I could have been a better person. That's still my question. Like, okay, how did I offend you? What did I do? What do I need to take care of to be better in the future if we're gonna have a relationship? And I don't know if I did. I don't know if I did anything wrong. That's the thing. I don't know, but I would love to know so I could be better because I thought things were different. And I think that's what really hurts the most. Like that's why I say beyond this podcast stuff, like beyond this, it's more so I thought, you know, so
Right.
like men got feelings too. What else could I say? Like men got feelings too, and I was in my feelings for a long time and stayed quiet. And I tried. At least I tried to my standards to what was possible. Let me put it that way, right? Just speaking about me to what was possible. So there's that. So as we move on and segue, since we're really talking about, pretty much, I guess we're talking about like feelings and relationships. There was something I wanted to cover um, around Black men specifically, and this was a post that I actually saw. Brian, my good friend, the original Brian post, my other brother, and it's from ironically, it's from Brandon dot therapist. Very ironic, and let's scroll through, guys. 8 things in parentheses, but not all Black men need to know. All right, and I guess we could give thoughts on all 8 things. Are you guys all right with that?
yeah,
So,
cool.
All right, all right. First one. You have emotions besides anger. Expressing them is cathartic, healthy, and necessary. Crying is cool. You did it when you were 4. 30-something-year-old tears have value too. Want to keep scrolling or any
I could tell you, with this first one, it's like, Black men are always, or men in general, are just taught to be strong and just, you don't cry. I remember hearing TD Jakes say like many years ago, he's like, Jesus Christ, the epitome of masculinity. Like, he cried. If he can weep, then you have to know there's nothing wrong with you crying. If Jesus wept, so can you. And you shouldn't feel less of a man because you have to cry or let out your emotions.
Ooh, all right, let's go on to number 2. I like that. I like that answer. I like that response a lot. I don't have anything to add. I think that was perfect.
Perfect.
Joel, read number 2, please.
Bro, if I could see it.
Oh my goodness.
Right.
If you did full screen, if you
Yeah.
guys do full, I'll read it since you guys didn't do full screen. Your
Is that what it
masculinity, huh?
Oh, okay. There it is, full screen. All
Oh
right.
my
One
goodness.
time.
Everyone, I need you to
Masculinity
stop what
should
you're
not
doing
be
right now.
defined
I just
by
made a
your career.
donation, donation for Joel, so that way we can help him learn this technology that he uses day in and day out. Go ahead, brother.
Nah, man, I got people that do that for me. Your masculinity should not be defined by your career, earnings. Think of it like a superpower. If that's all that makes you super or feel powerful, what happens if you, let me say, what happens when you lose it? Be other things that celebrate you and champion your existence. It goes with what we were saying earlier about, when a person's not able to do those things that you've come to rely on, because of maybe a car accident, right? And just a bad day at Wall Street, and you lose everything. What happens? So I definitely agree with that.
All right. Ladies, anything?
Agree.
All right,
I
let's go.
100% agree.
Number 3, I'll read this one. Triggers for behaviors, responses are not just who you are. They have an origin, right? We discussed this a little bit earlier about seeing examples in marriage. Childhood, most likely. You have a responsibility to seek clarity and increase self-awareness to address the what and redefine the who within you. Yeah, because I think when not think, but I know for some people when situations occur, they then allow themselves to become identified that way.
Right.
You don't have to. And if you even look on this post, which is it's funny because I was looking at this quote before I saw this post. It's about Jay-Z said, "Identity isn't a prison you can never escape." Meaning that just because, right, what they say, right, yesterday's price is not today's price.
Yeah.
So if you could change the value of something or yourself, you could change the way that people identify you by. So you don't have to stay whatever people labeled you as or what you labeled yourself as. You can move on and grow and become something else.
Yeah, and sometimes, of course, you go through things that, becomes very traumatic, right? You have to get to a place where you realize that, man, this thing's actually been keeping me in bondage. Like, you got to want to be better, not to say that, okay, listen, everybody goes through this, like, just grow up and move on. And many times I think that's what we do. Or we say to people, which is, for me, I think it's wrong. I think help is available, and we need to seek the help when we feel that we need the help. It's strength to ask for help. Don't feel less of a person, less of a man, less of a woman. You're struggling with something in silent and secret. When like this is a struggle for you, go get help. Speak to somebody that you feel comfortable with. Say, I need help with this. Like, this happened to me, and I realized that ever since it happened to me, it really plays a big part on the decisions that I'm making in life.
All right. So we're gonna move. I'm gonna read these next couple of ones. I'm just gonna read them in a row, and then ladies, you could go in whichever order you want to go. If you both could probably give like a summary of thoughts on it, and then just closing remarks. Cool. All right. Let's go to number 4. Number 4. Right. You are valued, treasured, royal, and revered. Affirm yourself daily. All gems need to be polished to shine. Number 5, firstly, love yourself. We must feel love from within to project outwardly to those close to us. That's deep. Create time for solitude. Be alone with you so that you can learn. Get to know him, understand him, question him, challenge him. Black men have needs, and this is okay. Make your needs known to partners, friends, family, and colleagues. The needs are different with each, but no less important. Unknown needs create misunderstandings, aka you got to communicate. And last but not least, number 8, Cultivate relationships with intentionality, meaning, and that add value mixed with elements of reciprocity, meaning reciprocal. Ladies, thoughts on those slides?
Um, Honestly, for me, those those slides are great. Every single one of them is just so needed. Um, Being a black, so we're talking about black man. Being a black man, it's never been easy. I can't remember a time where, I mean, there was a time, then they took us down, but it's fine. Anyways, it's never been easy, and these points, these 8 views are so optimal in building our black men up. I feel like words of affirmation, a lot of these things I saw, it's like it's these are things that women tell each other to do, and that was what I see women doing on social media. I don't see a lot of men like consistently like, I am beautiful, I am amazing, I am a mask, I am I don't see that. And I feel like that is so important, because when the world is tearing you down and your home is tearing you down, all you have is this. You know what I'm saying? All you have is this. So I agree with all of these slides. They're all very vital. So I that's my summary on the whole thing. It's all vital. One does not work without the other.
I definitely agree. I just feel like this whole thread is just allowing black men to see and understand it is okay to just exist and be normal, and just, remove all the expectations that society has placed on you. Just be a human. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of times um take that away from our black men, because we expect them to have money. We expect them to be strong. We expect them to, you know, not be so sensitive, And this thread is just reminding them, just exist, you know? Learn yourself, love yourself, and just exist.
I feel like for this thread to actually go far beyond the views that it got, it's all about what we do with our sons and what they do with their sons. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, again, a boy will cry. Me growing up, my brother would cry, and then my mom would say, aren't you a boy? Do this, do that, and all that. It's like, once we get it right, generation, get it together collectively, generation after generation, that's where all of these things will become like, this is just like boy don't cry, the mentality that's going on, right? Just like all of that, how it became so stuck in our minds, these 8 views, it'll be like, as soon as they come out, they're like, I'm this, I am that. You can't tell them nothing. And it all starts with us and then generations to come. If we don't do that collectively, this whole boys don't cry thing, I wonder how long that thing has been around. I really wonder, because I feel like there had to have been a point in time where someone just said it, and it became something.
Listen, I agree with everything you both said. I agree with everything on this thread, but I'm looking at this thread a little different. When I'm looking at this thread, to piggy off what Felicia said, and she took it back to the way that, as you know, as a mom, you're raising these kids, and as a father, you're raising these kids, is because real change is not going to happen at where we are now, because many of us, we are a reflection of all the stuff that you picked up on the way to here. Some good, some bad, some indifferent. But being able to cultivate this type of thinking needs to start in the womb. Because to me, the way I'm looking at this thread, I think this thread is perfect. It's a perfect a GPS for not just the black man, but the people who love the black man. These are things that because let's be honest, I'm not going to see it, look at myself in the mirror, tell myself I'm beautiful, I'm this, and I'm respected when I'm coming into a home and I don't feel respected. At my age and the age that I'm at, it's okay. I can say whatever I say, right? But I know what I might be going through on a daily basis, and I'm not seeing what I'm saying. But if ever since I was a little boy, if I'm growing up hearing these things, I'm gonna believe those things because that's what I've always heard ever since I was a little kid. You understand? Music took me very far because for as long as I can remember, I've always heard somebody say, yo, you talented, like, yo, you this, and that. And whatever. And the thing about a man, and I've said this numerous times, the thing about man, as much as women love compliment, I think men move each stronger and compliment. You tell a man he looks strong, all of that, he's gonna try to outdo himself. Like you tell a man he's good at something, be careful because he might give it to you every single day. Like, baby, I love it when you make this. Now his mindset is, if he wants to see that smile from you, if he wants to see what I'm gonna just keep doing it because she told me that's what, that's what I'm good at. That's what you keep doing it. You keep doing it. You keep doing that. Man, to me is very easy, but it's just, I think it's a guide for not just the man, but for the people that's in his life to reassure him, like, I do see this from you. Like, this is who you are. This is, it's not because at the age that men are, we are graded on performance, not on us trying. We don't get a trophy for second place. No, we got to perform. And this is why majority of us black men, we are always competing. This is why many of us, it's not easy for us to collaborate with each other, because I was raised to where I got to be better than Eugene. Because if I'm going to make the team, there's only one spot and there's two of us, we're friends. But we got to go into competition because at the end of the day,
that spot is mine.
That exactly. So all a men know how to do is to compete. We compete for everything. We compete for girls. We compete for your love. We compete for your affection. And many times when we get to a point where we've done everything that we know how to do, and when it's not working for us, it's easy for us to just fall right down deep depression.
Yeah. You guys said it all. Pretty much. Give a couple of words, and we'll do like some closing remarks for anything that you ladies and Joel might want to leave with the viewers. But I heard somebody say we should be allowed to exist. And when I hear exist, the only way a black man, in my opinion, is seen as existing is when he's winning. Because without us winning, we don't exist. There's no value in us by just existing. And every human being wants to feel like they're valued. So if at one point in time I lose my job or I lose some money, and now the value that I had because of the job and money is gone, now I can't just exist. I might be lazy now, right? That's what might be said to me. I might be lazy. Oh, you're not doing this. You're not doing that. You're not
trying hard enough.
You should have been out there doing this and doing that. And then to the competition piece, it's true. That's a piece of the reason that makes us gives us this hard exterior, because it's like I can't let you see me slipping at all. I got to be better than you because, one, I believe I'm better than you, and two, if I'm not better than you, I won't accomplish what I need to accomplish. And then why do I need to accomplish those things? Because society told me I need to in order to matter. Right. And unless that overall grand scheme of that changes in the vacuum of overnight, I'm gonna die with this mindset of needing to do that to matter. And that's what it is. But I would love to just exist. I would love to just go to work, provide, just chill, have that be quality time, have me laughing, playing with my son, just be enough, have me putting my hand on my wife's hip, just being enough. But unfortunately, in most cases, it's never enough. It's never enough. Like Tessa, you told me something, Tessa. You didn't know, like it warmed my heart. Like you told me to slow down. You was like, yo, stop. Like I didn't even say anything to you. You must have just knew. Like you told me, stop beating yourself up. Joel knows. I every day, and you told me that, and that warmed it warmed my heart. It was because I was just like, yo, you're not doing enough, right? Go back. I was like, yo, we should have had out 50 episodes already, man. Yo, I should have been had, yo, I should have been had this product. I should have sold this much, sold that much. I need to have this in the bank account already. Why we don't have the house? We outgrown this apartment. Come on, you make good money at work, but where's the great money? All these things. Yo, you working on Sundays. You a leader. Why you not taking your family to church? All these things
All
packed
these
in here.
thoughts just
Right.
All of it. Compartmentalizing, finding a file cabinet over here, finding a zipper bag over here to put it in, right? And some days you hope that you don't explode. Some days you hope, like Joel say, you hope you don't go off that cliff.
Can I ask a question, please?
Yeah, of course.
I'm sorry. So how can like this is a question, a general question. How can a wife, right? When men are going through these things that you guys go through, right? You're thinking of all these things. Not even I want to know from a wife point of view. I don't want to know how a man, because I know how a man can help. I want to know from a wife point of stance. How can a wife help when a man is going through stuff like all this stuff in his head? What can she do?
You ever seen? So right, we all know cheerleaders, right?
Yes.
You ever seen when a sports team is getting blown out? Right? You ever seen a sports team get blown out? Right? You ever seen?
She don't watch sports.
All right. So listen, if a basketball team is losing by 20, that's pretty bad, right? If a football team is losing by 21, 28, that's pretty bad.
Okay.
Guess what does not stop happening? The cheerleaders do not stop cheering. When
Come
your
on,
man,
get him, man. Next
when
play.
your man is down in the game, he might be behind some points, but he's still putting on that helmet, still putting on that uniform to go back in the game every day and potentially run the risk of losing. Still need to cheerlead that man.
Even if he loses this game, he's still in the season. There is still a season, and he still got to get up every single day and do what he got to do. But honestly, how can a wife help? A wife got to first care, because you got wives that has a depressed husband in their hands and they don't even realize it, nor do they even attempt to find out, hey, what's going on? So again, you can't help if you don't care. You got to first care. You got to care. And if you care to help, it starts out with knowing, again, your partner's love language. You got to come to him in his love language, like you pay it just like anything else. You could tell. If a mom could tell when something's wrong with her child, she could also tell when something's wrong with her husband. Okay. And many times what a husband is really looking for his wife is what she provides to her children.
Yep. So listen, I remember one time, we all know Steph Curry and Ayesha Curry, right?
Oh Lord.
Well, we're not talking about that. I remember one time the Warriors, they lost really, really bad in the game.
Yeah.
And Steph was walking to the tunnel with his head down.
Head down, yep.
His wife met him in the tunnel and threw up some paper that she made of confetti.
Yeah.
And made it rain on him, still celebrated him. And all you see was Steph raise his head and you saw a smile. Because at the end of the day, whether if you lose,
game, but I ain't losing life.
Right, I was about to say, whether if you lose or win that game, that should not dictate if you're a winner and if you have value. But that's how we feel. Ladies, before we close it out, can you give some final words to our viewers, please?
you want to go first, Felicia?
Yeah, I'll go first. And all of
that was awkward.
I knew that was coming. I was prepared, but you know what? It's all right. In everything that was said in this episode and in previous episodes, my number one thing is like they say 3 things in a marriage: money, sex, communication. Like communication, with communication, everything else will come. All right. Communicate with your partner. Communicate your needs, communicate your wants. I feel like that is just so vital, and it's one of, I feel like, number one reason why marriages just don't, relationships, they don't work, because you're not communicating. From the beginning, you're not communicating when you're dating, and in the end, you're not communicating. If you communicate from the beginning what your wants and your needs and your values and all that is, then you'll know where to go after that. And that's just my point, my view on that.
Thank you. Okay.
To all the viewers, I just want to encourage you to just love on a black man, whether that be your brother, your uncle, your friends. Just love on them. Remind them that they are strong. Remind them that it is okay to have emotion. Remind them that it is okay to exist. And for those of you who are married to a black man, don't forget to serve him. Love on him and let him know that when the world does beat on him and tear him down, you will always be here to cheer him on and allow him to move forward in life.
Joel, you just gonna shake your head, or you ain't got nothing to say?
I really appreciate Felicia and Tessa coming on here and always doing, this third episode with us. This was great. It's always amazing to have this open dialogue with them because I love to hear their perspective. And one thing about it is the fact that we all can end up saying the same thing, but we're coming from different end of the spectrum with it, which I truly love. And I love the diversity of this. So thank you guys. And I know you guys enjoy being here. So we're going to try to
All
get you
the
back
time.
on.
Yeah, definitely. To piggyback, definitely appreciate the both of you. Listen, this is called Breakfast with Bros. This is a man's podcast. This is a podcast for men, but where we want perspective from our counterparts so we can grow as men. This is not just a man cave where we just having fun and playing all type of games. We're here trying to get better. We're trying to add value. We're trying to live our purpose through these words that we give to you guys when we look in this camera and when we hook up the mics. And I definitely always appreciate a different perspective because I will never know everything. I will never have every perspective. And it's always great to get those perspectives so that way you can somehow bridge the gap on many things that we go through as men, as women, and as a community. So if you made it this far in this episode, we're about to end. We thank you. It's Breakfast with Bros. We're going to see you guys on the next one. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, share with a friend. It's free, guys. It's on the road to 200. We're going to get to 200. Aren't we, Joel?
We are.
We're
And
getting to
please,
200, guys. We
please.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah, y'all.